Hello, everyone, and welcome to the series analysis episode of the Seattle Baseline Podcast. My name is Julian Smith, and I'm with Alex Hong. Alex, it's been a rough stretch lately. I get that the Mets are a good team, but we've lost two series in a row to the Orioles and the Mets. But I want to hear from you. What do you feel like right now in terms of where the Mariners stand and like what the Mariners are looking at? Why did we lose the series to the Mets? Are we doing all right?
Hey Julian. Yeah, so the Mariners haven't been playing their best as of the last week or so, but I mean, it's not something we should be concerned about more or less. Not every, the Mariner, I mean, no MLB team wins like every single game unless you're like the Milwaukee Brewers this season. So I wouldn't be too worried about some stretches where we lose some series. But yeah, we did play against a pretty good Mets team, and overall, I'd say, well, this was kind of a weird series, if I'm being honest. The first game was the opposite of the second and third game. The first game, it was one of the best offensive performances of the season, right? We scored a ton of runs, everything seemed to be working. The Mets pitching, they couldn't get anything going, right? I mean, the Mariners pitching wasn't that good that game either, but the Mariners offense was really good. And then yeah, the second game, the Mariners offense struggled to do anything, right? We really, really struggled to produce any offense in that game. And then the third game, we struggled to get runners in. The offense wasn't as bad, but the starting pitching completely imploded. So we got kind of a mix of everything in this series. But yeah, it was a little disappointing, but it wasn't we were against a good team, so I didn't like fully like have the confidence that we would definitely were gonna win this series.
It was crazy to me when we won the first game. I felt like halfway through the game I didn't feel like I was where we were gonna win that game, honestly. But the Mariners pulled through and they get all those runs in. 11 runs is a really solid performance. And they picked up Luis Castillo, who clearly wasn't doing his best. And speaking of not doing his best, George Kirby, he didn't have his stuff today. And the way that the pitches were spinning, his fastball, just everything just didn't seem as sharp as it usually is. The placement of his pitches, he was missing his spots over and over. And you know what? He's going to have bad games. I felt like today's game with George Kirby not pitching well, we got beat by the Mets. The Mets outplayed us totally. But the second game is one that I want to focus on because I felt like this game we weren't getting beat up, but we should have won. And the reason for that is I think that the scouting report was not enough to give us the win. I feel like we have the players necessary to go out and win a game like that. And not sending JP Crawford from third when there's a single to Juan Soto. That's one thing that I think stood out to me. The pitcher wasn't throwing strikes either. That guy was completely new. He's never played an MLB game before, and it showed because he was throwing balls everywhere. But our the Mariners swung and missed at a bunch of stuff. Not saying the pitches were bad, but you should have had more than four walks at least against a pitcher like that who's not controlling the ball and not stable. And so I felt like there's a little bit of a scouting thing that could have gone there, especially after the first and second inning where you saw how many balls that he's throwing. I felt like you have to tell your guys, look, clearly the strategy isn't working. Tone it down. We're going to take as many walks as we can, and if you see a clear strike pitch, just swing at it and hit it out of the yard. Felt like there was a little bit less good counts than what we could have had.
Yeah, I mean, especially against the pitcher who's never pitched ever, right, in the MLB. It was a little very disappointing that series. I mean, that particular game. Um, and about the Soto thing, I feel like the Mariners, in terms of like sending from third base, that's a very important job the third base coach has, right? Because that's the difference from a run or getting out at home plate, which is really, really bad, right? Because a runner got there in the first place and he ends up being out. So Yeah, when you got a defender like Juan Soto, who is absolutely terrible. Like, let's talk. Like, we could talk a little bit about how Juan Soto is one of the worst like outfielders I've seen in a while. Like this, he's gonna go to the DH very, very soon. I can tell you that because that was some horrendous defense he had. But not sending like if Juan Soto is getting the ball, you can expect the throw to be really bad, or he's just gonna field it bad. So we should be sending the runners in that situation that you're talking about. So I don't know. There's some minor stuff that even though okay, that would have been like only one run and we lost that game by more than a run, like it still could have set the team up for more success. So there's little things like that that I think the Mariners could be better at. But I mean, yeah, overall, I feel like the Mariners with Kirby, I mean, everyone has a bad start, like you said, and we definitely shouldn't overreact from one game, right? Especially because, like, especially with starting pitching, like one game, like every pitcher has a bad game. So, like, I know there's some fan bases out there on other teams that the second like this player plays bad, the entire all the fans call for them to get like DFA'd or something really ridiculous like that. Like every player plays like has a bad game. So I wasn't like too big of a deal, but yeah, overall, I'd say the series was slightly disappointing, especially because we could have won that second game, like you said. The third game, I kind of agree. We kind of got outplayed and just beat up right there
Yeah.
on in the Little League Classic, which was a very interesting setting we had there with the very short ballpark. But yeah, what do you have any other thoughts on this series?
Yeah. You every win matters. Every single win matters. And I said in the Orioles series recap that look, we don't want to overreact. You don't want to feel like every loss is drowning you, but sure, yeah, right. Like you don't want it to feel like it's drowning you, but at the same time, a win is a win and a loss is a loss. It doesn't matter what team you're going against when you win or lose. Obviously, winning against a good team feels better, but every win is one win. And to be able to, I think if we could have gotten that second game, if JP was sent, Juan Soto's throw was horrible. It didn't even reach the plate. It was way to the right. And so you score that run, Matt Brash comes in instead of Tyler Ferguson, or no, sorry,
Caleb.
Caleb Ferguson. Sorry, Caleb Ferguson. He's probably not letting that guy score. And then Gino Suarez kicks that one home run in the ninth inning. You probably win that game. And so that's a big difference in the outcome. It's just one run, but that's a scouting report issue, and also the whole walk situation. They have to relook at what they're doing there. And yeah, that's what I feel. You lost a game that you could have won. Every game is like that, right? Like every game you could have won, you could have lost a bunch of these types, but you want to win as many games as you can.
Yeah, I think we should move on. If the Mets were a tough test, I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, the next team we're against is even a tougher test because they're also in the same division, but they are first place. It'll be the Philadelphia Phillies. So,
Mm.
Julian, how do the Mariners attempt to win this series against a pretty good Phillies team?
First and foremost, I want to say I go to college in Pennsylvania, so I have a ton of buddies, Phillies fans, and they're all texting me. They're like, "Hey, Julian, our Phillies are facing your Mariners. We're gonna beat you up. Trey Turner's gonna hit like 15 base hits against you, and there's gonna be five ShwarBombs in this series." Uh, I've I'm gonna take this stage to tell them no, that's not happening. You're gonna get a big dump right in the face
Like
if you
Cal
think
Raleigh?
yeah, you are getting a big dumper special right in the back seats. Watch out, upper deck. It's gonna be super awesome. But on a serious note, the Phillies are a good team. They have great starting pitching. They fixed their only issue, that was their bullpen, by bringing in Joan Duran, their closer. So they have not just a competent closer. They have a really solid closer that throws 100-mile-per-hour fastball and what he calls a splinker, a splitter sinker ball. It goes 100 miles an hour and it's a splitter. It's actually pretty crazy. We faced him against the Twins earlier on in the season, but he's a tough task. And so I call this pitch cheating. People call it the splinker. I call it cheating, but yeah, Joan Duran is a amazing pitcher. So um, scoring runs wise, it's going to be a tough challenge, and also preventing runs wise, you've got Trey Turner, who's been getting insane amounts of base hits. Kyle Schwarber, I just mentioned him. He's hitting ShwarBombs everywhere. That's his nickname for the home run. And then Bryce Harper, always a household name for that team. They have a ton of studs in their team, and so yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup. Our Mariners, I don't think they're far behind at all. We have great starting pitching, especially after the trade deadline. It seems like our pitchers have been picking up. Actually, after the All-Star break, our pitchers have been really good. And so that's there. Bryce Miller, it seems like, is coming back. I hope he returns in the second game. The pitchers to be decided. And our offense, I think, is also really good. 1 to 9, we have a very strong offense. So, my opinion is that the Phillies are a great team, but you can't discredit the Mariners. They are also a playoff caliber team, especially right now.
Yeah, I mean, assume if we were like a Phillies podcast and we were talking about going against the Mariners, this is a good team we're against. They would definitely agree. I mean, the Mariners, they have a lot of wins. I know the Phillies have a lot of wins too. So these are two good teams going against each other. But I think a key to this series, what I liked from the Mets series, even though we had lost the series, is that Cal Raleigh, he had a really good series. He's been picking it up lately. I feel like he could have another big series. He would be very important for us to produce a lot of runs on offense. Same with Suarez. Suarez actually has a 5 game hitting streak right now, so he might be picking it up from his slump that he had ever since he got traded. So yeah, there's a lot of good things looking for the Mariners, but ultimately we have to score runs, right, in
Mm-hmm.
this series. You have to score runs against any team, right? But the Phillies, they've got a pretty good starting pitching staff as well. So yeah, we just gotta keep it on, especially because the Phillies offense, like you said, there's a lot of big names on that offense that can score a lot of runs, right? I mean, if like I'm ex pro Schwarber, although he said hopefully he doesn't hit home runs, I don't know. Odds are he'll probably hit at least one home run in this series, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we gotta be able to respond, and I mean we have Cal Raleigh, the league leader in home runs, so who knows? Maybe he'll even take it to the yard as well.
Um, One of the big things, my opinion, is that if you hit it to third base, there's a decent chance you can run it out. Alec Boehm on defense just hasn't been good at all. He's been losing a lot of run value defensively. He's been dropping a lot of balls. His arm just doesn't seem like it's accurate or any good. You got to capitalize on that. Their defense at third base is not going to be good. The throw to first base isn't going to be accurate nor strong. And so you have a lot of fast guys, Randy Rosarena, Julio Rodriguez. Um, you have to be able to run it out. It's That's where I feel like the difference maker is. If the Mariners are playing well, they're going to take advantage of that type of bad arm, the way they should have taken advantage of Juan Soto's arm in the Mets series.
Yeah, so starting pitcher rise, we are in the first game, it'll be Gilbert versus Ranger Suarez. Um, and then the second game's a little iffy because we're not exactly sure. It could be Bryce Miller, it could be a bullpen day against Christopher Sanchez, and he's really good. And then third game will be Castillo against Jesus Luzardo. So Sanchez is definitely he's been one of the best pitchers in the league this year in the National League especially. So and Suarez is no tough task as well. So yeah, like I said, we're against some pretty good pitching staff. Mariners offense got to produce, and our pitching staff's got to hold together as well. So overall, it's got to be a collective team performance from all around for us to win this series. I feel like it's not like this team is not bad to where you can kind of get away with like the offense playing well and the pitching not doing that good because maybe the other team's offense isn't good at all. So, we need a complete team performance, I think, from all aspects to try and win this series.
I think this series is going to be interesting because it's just like the Mets series before, it's going to show us what it means to face a tough team, right? What it means to face a playoff team, and how do the Mariners actually stack up against these teams. The Mariners so far against over 500 teams have been extremely good, and hopefully that continues. Hopefully we can bounce back from this two series losing stretch right now, because last season we won against the Phillies. So hopefully we can do it again. I'm pretty hopeful. I think our team is good enough to do that. Um, get more hits, get more runs, and get more wins. Right?
Yep, for sure.
Yep. Hey, thank you everyone for tuning in. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our beautiful faces on YouTube. Check out our Instagram, and as always, go Mariners.
Go Mariners.